Did Colourpop go too far trying to dupe Rare Beauty, and is Hourglass out here stealing the Nessa Myx packaging? I'm gonna be spilling all the tea and talking about all the new makeup releases in this week's brand new episode with me chatting about all the new makeup that's been released and announced a sneak peek. And I'm gonna let you know what I think about these products, if I'm gonna pick them up, if I already have them here with me. We're also gonna be talking about some sneak peeks from upcoming things. And I'm, per usual, super excited to be sitting down with you and just chatting about all the new makeup. I did film this look, but it's coming on Monday. This release actually that I have on might be the most exciting release, but it is being revealed on Monday. So check back on this space on Monday and I will have a video about this new collection and 2 different looks. It's a little bit of a secret so far. It's not Cinch Beauty. I know every time I say that, people are like, is it Cinch Beauty? It's not Cinch Beauty. But come back on Monday and see more about that. I think the look is very sexy, very sultry, very fun. So let me scoochie to the side so that we can hopefully fit some pictures here. Let's talk about the new liquid blushes from Hourglass, because I saw a lot of people saying, hey, did they steal the packaging from the Nessa Myx? Because it looks exactly the same. It looks like it's one of those droppers where you push on the bottom and blush comes out of the dropper. I will say the packaging looks very similar, but I am gonna let you in on some industry, like backstage secrets. I don't know if it's a secret. It shouldn't be a secret, so I'll talk about it now, because I see a lot of times people saying, hey, they stole that, like that brand's packaging. They're doing the exact same. And I'm just here to let you know how most of the time packaging comes about. A lot of times when it comes to packaging, it is not the brands themselves a lot of times that comes up with the packaging. Instead, brands go packaging shopping at different producers that do specifically packaging, not only for beauty products, but for other things as well. And sometimes they'll find packaging like this one with the dropper, and they'll be like, this is the perfect packaging for this formula that I'm working on. And sometimes packaging itself can spark almost like an idea of like what you would like to put in a packaging like this. So I can tell you right now that the Nessa Myx most probably was not the brand that came up with this packaging. Instead, they might have gone to like a trade show like Cosmoprof. I own a beauty brand that's called Cinch Beauty, and I'm going to Cosmoprof again this July in Vegas, and I'm also going to Cosmoprof in Italy next year. I've already booked my tickets. But what I will say is that when you go to those places, you see all the vendors that do makeup packaging, you see all the vendors that do like ingredients or that do white label or private label. You see a lot of brands that are incubator brands. Like I saw a lot of manufacturers for really, really big brands when I was at Cosmoprof last time, like Makeup by Mario, Fenty. I saw packaging from Rare Beauty. I saw the manufacturers for Tarte packaging. I saw the manufacturer that made the packaging for the Club Nebula palette that I did with Kaleidos. Like you see a lot of those, like you get to peek behind the curtain. So there's a big chance that at something like that, or maybe the brand was pitched to packaging like this, and then both Hourglass and the Nessa Myx were like, this is the perfect kind of packaging for this kind of product that we want to do, or for this product that the idea got sparked by seeing this packaging. This product was also released this year, and I can tell you right now that a big brand like Hourglass, there is no way that they would have been able to see this packaging from the Nessa Myx in the beginning of this year, a couple of months ago, and then be like, oh, we should do that packaging too, and then be able to have the quick turnaround to launch it this summer. There is no universe where that is possible. No universe. I am telling you, these brands, the stuff that they're releasing right now, it is planned at least a year and a half, 2 years, sometimes 2 years and a half in advance. The bigger the brand you are, the more you are in brick and mortar store, the longer it takes for you to plan something and actually execute it. And I'm just speaking for personal opinions, how long it takes you to do something. I've been working with a bunch of different collabs with brands, and that have taken more than 1 year just to do the collab part. And now that I own my own brand, I can tell you right now that everything that I have released, including the release that I am gonna have, fingers crossed, in August. It's coming in August. It's that release I have worked on for more than 1.5 years. Things take an incredible amount of time, even when you're a small brand, and especially if you want to do everything custom made, if you want to have your own formulas, your own colors, your own packaging, your own design, all of that, things take an incredible amount of time. So I'm just saying the reason why this one has the same packaging as the Hourglass one is probably because this packaging manufacturer was just showing this packaging to a bunch of different brands. And I would not be surprised if you see even more things in this kind of packaging in the future. Think about the Click lipsticks. Think about how many brands were like, yeah, that is a perfect packaging for me to do lipsticks in. And now we have everyone doing that. I do think though sometimes with packaging like that, like the poofy makeup, the squeezy tubes with the poof and with the click lipsticks, I think some brands are sitting in meetings and they're like, find out who's doing that packaging and buy some for us. I would not be surprised if that is what happens. Brands see good packaging from other brands and they're like, find out who the manufacturer for that packaging is and make sure that we can custom make some for us. Because a lot of the things that you're seeing in stores or seeing at indie brands might be a Lego Tetris situation from inner packaging, like component packaging from this place, outer carton from this place, ingredients from this place, actually made at this place, but it was formulated, like it can be so many different things. And that goes for even indie brands. There are very few indie brands that do everything in-house. Like, I don't know any indie brand that does packaging in-house as well. And that's sometimes why you see a lot of indie brands will have the same kind of component for like a loose pigment, for example, or for a lip gloss or for anything like that. It's because they found this manufacturer that sells empty components and they're like, bingo, perfect. And don't think that bigger brands don't do the same. I am sure that when I was at Cosmoprof and I saw all of those big brands there, I am sure that the representative for all of those brands were there as well. I am sure that there were people from Tarte, from Fenty, from Makeup by Mario, from all of those brands there. I saw Makeup Revolution, I saw BH Cosmetics, I saw all of those things. And they're shopping for new stuff as well. This brand just happened to be shopping for the same thing as Hourglass. Let's actually talk, am I talking real? Do you like getting a peek behind the curtain? Maybe you're not interested at all. You're like, bitch, we don't care. Just talk about the makeup, which is totally fair. I wanted to talk just a little bit about these blushes because for me, this is the perfect component to be using a very liquidy, watery product. But what I'm wondering is this a watery blush? Because if it is like a liquid blush, I prefer something that comes like this one, which is, this is a great packaging. Like the liquid blushes from Huda that I tried yesterday in Thursday's video, like a little doe foot and you dip it on. I'm thinking like, is there a specific reason why we are doing this instead of the doe foot? And I'm thinking the formula is very liquidy. That's the only reason I can think about. It's more like a watercolor blush. That will be the only reason why you would put it in a packaging like this instead of a doe foot or instead of like a pump, because it's so liquid that it just runs away. So I'm thinking, is that like a watercolor blush? I have no idea, but I gotta tell you, it is intriguing to see because like maybe they're actually bringing something new to liquid blushes. Maybe they're bringing a watery watercolor blush, but also a watery blush sounds like something that will lift everything you have underneath, including your skincare, in 2.5 seconds. So I'm intrigued to see some reviews about this one. It is coming soon. I will link everything that I'm talking about down below in the description box or on the side of the description box. YouTube have changed this stuff a bit. I still am not able to get YouTube shopping to work. So if you're interested in seeing some more info, it's going to be in the description box. It is what it is. YouTube still thinks that I live in Sweden. And they've told me that they are unable to change that. So description box it is. Let's talk about some more liquid blushes because YSL is coming up with liquid blushes too. I usually say that when it comes to innovation, it usually starts with either high-end or indie brands. And when it comes to like innovation, when it comes to eyeshadows, it's usually indie brands. When it comes to innovation about other things, like when it comes to like new product categories, like we've had an onslaught of liquid and cream blushes this year, and also liquid and cream bronzers. There's also been so many like balms or squeezy things in a squeezy tube. You know what I mean, like a balm or a lip gloss in a squeezy tube. An onslaught of those as well. And we've also seen a lot of those bronzing drops and stuff like that. Usually there will be like one brand that starts something, and the people that jump on the ship last will be drugstore brands. Remember, we just got those liquid blushes from Maybelline and L'Oreal, and luxury brands. And now the luxury brands are coming out with liquid blushes, and these from YSL are coming, I think, soon. It says July, so this is probably part of their fall collection. This is the Make Me Blush from YSL. This is a second skin effect liquid blush, highly pigmented formula, light texture, blah, 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 easy apply over foundation or on bare skin. It comes in 6 shades. I will say the shades are very interesting because there's like a pale apricot and there is one that is almost like a pale pastel pink. And I find that very interesting to have a shade like that, because if you have very fair skin and you're afraid of those like super pigmented poppy blushes that have been popular, maybe that one is perfect. I mean, it's not for me. For me, that looks like a pale concealer. But when I look, there are some swatches up on this. It does look like a super pale pink, but maybe that one has shimmer and that's why. I don't know. It's just very... For a luxury brand, this is a very innovative color scheme. I mean, the selection of colors, I gotta give them that. YSL is also coming out, and this is like a primer serum stick. New serum, pure shot serum stick format. It's easy to use, has no fragrance, it moisturizes and preps the skin for applying makeup. This one is gonna start selling in Japan first, and then it's coming to Europe and the US and other markets. This is, again, for being a luxury brand. I just gave you that spiel about like, oh, you don't see stuff from like luxury brands early. I have seen very few primer sticks. Elf had one, which wasn't good. Milk had one, which I haven't really heard any reviews on. And now a luxury brand comes out with one. The packaging is beautiful on this one. Do I need a primer stick? Absolutely not. But it is really interesting to see. And it's interesting that they're releasing it on the Japanese market first, because I feel like Japanese makeup is so, like J beauty and K beauty, they're so different from the makeup style that's available or like popular in Europe and in North America. So I feel like it's very interesting that they're releasing there first, because I do agree that this seems like something that could do very well in that market. I remember shopping for makeup. I've been to Japan. It's so fascinating. The color stories are so different. The textures are so different. All the lipsticks are red and pink. There are basically no nudes, at least not when I was there. There was no nudes to be found anywhere. It was just a very fascinating makeup market. And what people were wearing was also really interesting, because a lot of people were wearing like almost like loose glitter on the eyes for an everyday look. And everything was just so interesting, and I loved the makeup aesthetic. We have one more sneak peek from YSL. I'm guessing they're like sneak peeking the things that are coming from fall. And this is an updated line of liquid lipsticks with a vinyl finish. And I will say, you just see one here. I think that this looks like some of those like glossy tints almost, because it looks very gel-like. And that looks super, super pretty. Very gel-like. It says that it has a delicate creamy texture and a new formula that will not flow beyond the lip contour, which says that it's gonna be like, it's gonna be vinyl-like but not spread and not like, you know, travel all around your face. You know, we all know. And I find that very, very interesting. I will say YSL is not normally the brand that I would think about when I think about like more innovative luxury brands, but now they're really like, they're sneak peeking things for fall where I'm like, huh, that seems really nice. I would like to try that. One new thing that I talked about that I actually had in my video yesterday is the new palette from Gourmand Girls. This one is called Peach Perfect. This one is releasing on July the 2nd, which is going to be next week. And you can use my code and get some money off. This is such a pretty palette. It is a green neutral peach palette, and the quality is just beautiful. If you're interested in seeing this one in action and seeing some swatches and stuff, that was yesterday's video. It was a full face of trying new makeup. I tried that new, where is it, that new foundation stick from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm actually wearing it again today, but I just wore it a little bit different today, and I really, really like it. I also was using that new highlighter from Patrick Ta, you know, the glittery Vaseline that everybody hates. I have some thoughts about that as well, so check out yesterday's video if you're interested. This is a really, really beautiful palette. I'm super, super grateful that I got this one early so that I was able to try it out. So if you're interested in getting a really nice green and peach palette with very nice quality, that one is dropping on Tuesday then. Can you believe we're getting into July? Where did this year go? We have talked about a bunch of different things that are dropping from Bella Beauté bar. Check last week's video if you want to see what other things they're releasing. So they're releasing a blush palette, they're releasing a matte eyeshadow palette, and we've talked about that they're releasing just a smaller all shimmer palette. And here it is. This is the Molten Metals palette. It is a 6-pan magnetic eyeshadow palette with 5 multichromes and 1 holochrome shimmer. The this kind of a formula from Bella Beauté Bar is beautiful. And if you thought that some of their other palettes were just a little bit too big, because they have a tendency of making bigger palettes but very high quality, and you're not interested in mattes, you just want to try those shimmers that everybody keeps talking about, this one might be the one. Let me show you some swatches as well, because the swatches are truly incredible. And you can see that one of those middle shades has the holographic particles in there. These are really beautiful, almost like poppy pastels for like summer. And then there is this more neutral copper shade in the middle. I gotta say, I'm very, very, very impressed with these. I do think that this one is also releasing in the beginning of July, if I'm not mistaken. You can use a code at Bella Beauté Bar as well and get some money off. If I receive these in PR, I will do like a video or I will feature them somewhere. If I don't get them in PR, I'll still buy it. At least I will buy that matte palette because I'm a matte girly, but I'm very intrigued to see them trying out new things. I've said that before. I always love seeing any brand try out new things and not just release the same thing all over and over. And I feel like Bella Beauté Bar with doing one matte palette or one shimmer palette, they're trying something new, and I'm always intrigued to see that. Let's talk about the Colourpop blushes then. That I feel like divided people into two different camps. Some people that thought that it was a little bit too much of Colourpop to do such a blatant copy of the Rare Beauty blushes, and then some people that, I'm guessing it's the same people that love like when e.l.f. is duping stuff, just excited to see something of hopefully equal quality and color, but just at a more affordable price. These are liquid blushes that are coming up from Colourpop. These are available now. I have a package coming in that could be these blushes. I'm not 100% sure. I will, even if I don't get this in PR, because I have not been getting as much PR from Colourpop as I have before, I still have a code with Colourpop. If you're shopping from them, you can use my code Angelica and you will get some money off when you're shopping with them. It works on everything on the website except sale items and things that are already in discounted bundles. But if I don't get this in PR, I will buy at least maybe 2 of them myself. The thing that like this, again, this is the kind of packaging that you could probably go shopping for. I have seen indie brands do this kind of packaging with the heart on. It's the kind of packaging that you can probably go shopping for as a brand and say like, oh, I love this one. Does it come in this color? Or can you make this color? And usually the more quantities you buy, the more you can alternate the packaging. Can I make this frosted? Can I make this soft touch? Can I make this pink instead of purple? The more quantities you buy of anything, including makeup and packaging and all of that, the more alterations you can do to it. And I know Colourpop makes their products in-house, most of them, not all of them. I know that there are some skincare products, and I think there are pens as well. They don't do in-house, but the packaging, I'm pretty sure Colourpop is shopping for packaging at any other like place that everybody else is. I did actually see a brand that does some of Colourpop's packaging again when I was at Cosmoprof last year. So stuff like that, they don't do that in-house. I think the thing that made people go like, is that these colors, not only does the packaging and the formula seem very similar to Rare Beauty, it seems like the colors are very similar as well. So they literally took the Rare Beauty colors and made them themselves. I don't know if that's true or not. I will say that I think that that maybe is a little bit too much. I don't think that like, sometimes I am, oh my God, that is such a blatant like copy of something. When they do the exact same formula and the exact same packaging with the exact same font, and it's just like, it's too similar. Then sometimes I'm just like, well, this is just a glowy blush inspired by this glowy blush, or a liquid blush inspired by this liquid blush. But when they're copying everything, the type of packaging, the type of product, and the colors, that's when I'm like, where does inspired end and where does copycat begin? I don't own these, so I don't know if it's the exact colors or not. When I see the swatches, I don't think it looks like the same colors from Rare. With that being said, I don't own all the colors from Rare Beauty either. So this is gonna have to be one of those things that I think that people that have all the Rare Beauty blushes and the people that get these in PR, they're gonna be able to compare them and let you know. I am in the camp where I don't like when things are too copycatty, but I also don't mind more affordable brands being inspired by more expensive brands. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think everyone deserves to treat themselves to some makeup, regardless of their budget, to be able to have a little fun and treat themselves to something cute and fun, because I think makeup is fun. It's like my hobby. But yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts about this one. Again, if I receive them in PR, I will I do swatches of all of them? That I don't know. But maybe this is one of those products that will do really good in like short form content, but I always come back and review everything on my channel. I did have a review roundup rankings beginning of this week. If you're interested in seeing me review, it was a bunch of products. Another more affordable thing that I think has already released is the new Wet n Wild lip oils. I'm telling you, drugstore and luxury are usually the two segments that jump on a trend last, because I think that every brand in the world now has done a colored lip oil. Every brand in the world, including Wet n Wild. I've heard some of my friends have seen these in store and that they look pretty cute. I think some of the colors that they're releasing are very cute. It seems like some of them are more clear and some of them have more like a milky base, and I do like that, the variety of it. There's some lighter colors, there's some poppy colors. I don't need this. I don't need more lip oils. And this is like, when you are jumping on a trend, you have you're running the risk of being like the last one getting on a train so that everybody else has already sold products to people who are interested. And then when you come in late, like Wet n Wild, people like me that usually buy everything, let's be honest, I like to try everything. Even people like me are like, you know what? No, I am all tapped out. I don't need to try another formula. And you're just sitting here with something that might be really good, but people are just over it. They're just over the whole concept. But maybe you don't agree. I would love to hear your thoughts about this. I also will say Wet n Wild is now one of my favorite brands from the drugstore, so maybe that's also one of the reasons why I'm like, meh, I could take it or leave it. I read an article The 7 Virtues, which is a fragrance brand. It's an indie fragrance brand that is available at Sephora, not only Sephora US, but I think it's available at Sephora in Europe and also in Canada. This brand is now appointed a new CEO, and it is the former CEO of Herbivore. In this article, and I will link it down below, they also talked a lot about like the way, like as an indie brand coming into Sephora, like what to expect. And they said Sephora is not a cheap date. You have to put a lot in, but you also get a lot back. And I thought this article was very interesting. And they also said if you are a lover of this brand, they are going to open their first own store, and they're going to open it in Halifax, Canada, which, if I'm not totally mistaken, is where the brand is from. So if you're living in Canada, if you're living close to Halifax, they're opening their store in a mall there. And I just think it's very interesting to read an article from an indie brand that are going into Sephora and just hearing about their experiences. So if you want to read more about that, I will leave it down below. But just so you know, 7 Virtues, they're doing great. They're opening their own first store. Tarte is just out here trying to create another Shape Tape, and now they're releasing another concealer. This, again, I feel like this isn't new, but a lot of places are showing this as new, and I am a little bit surprised. This is the Creamy Creaseless Concealer, but I don't think that this is new. But it says new. I feel like they had a Creamy Creaseless Concealer, but people hated it. And now I'm like, is this new? Because I think that the thing that I'm pretty sure is new is that they're at least releasing more corrector shades in this concealer formula. You're gonna have to let me know, is this new or not? Or is it just that the corrector shades are new? I'm confused. I am confusion. I'm not 100% sure. Or is it just that creaseless concealer that they had that people really hated? Like, they were literally saying, how could you name such a creasy concealer creaseless? Like, it's like a joke. It's like, what are we doing? Oh my God, my cat and my dog are cuddling and I'm dead. Oh, you're so cute. Like, why are you the cutest people in the world? Oh, you're so cute. Mommy loves you so much. And she's like, how dare you? I guess she is a performer. Are you a performer? Are you excited? You are the prettiest cat in the world. You're the prettiest cat in the world. She's like, absolutely not. And she's gone. But yeah, you're gonna have to let me know, is this that concealer that everybody hated? Is it reformulated? Is it not new? Is this another one? I am so confused, but I feel like Tarte, just as Benefit, like they had that hit with Shape Tape. So now they're like trying to create a new hit concealer, and they're just releasing 2 concealers a year. And I also feel the same with like Benefit and their brow products. They had such a hit when their brow products, and they keep selling a lot of brow products. So now every now and then they just release this random brow products, just hoping that people won't forget, like, please keep loving our brow. Keep loving our brow products, please. I just recently reviewed the products that I tried from Made by Mitchell, and I know I reviewed the the cream blush and the cream bronzer in the stick, and now they're releasing those in highlighters, and I said that I really didn't like them. I think they are tuggy, they are waxy, they are sticky. I didn't love the formula at all. But a lot of you were saying there's a different formula in the cases, so like the ones in the pan where you get several different colors. I don't want to get something that has like that many colors all at once, though. I don't feel like that makes sense at all. But a couple of the shades that were in the shimmer case are now released in the sticks, and this is where I'm wondering, is it the same formula as the sticks then? Or is this the same formula as the cases? Because I really, really did not like the formula of the sticks. It was so tuggy. It was like a melted crayon that turned sticky on the cheeks, and I just really did not like it at all. This one says that it has the same formula as the Made by Mitchell Comet case, which was, if it's not the same as the sticks, should be better, because people said, you know, sometimes I don't understand. Why are you releasing the same thing into... Some people are just out here creating a million different SKUs. But in this picture, you can also see that he's releasing some blush quads, and he's releasing, I think this is like a lip pen, almost like a felt tip lip pen, so it's going to give you a lot of color on the lips. And there's yet another cream formula. This is called the Slip Dew. It is a wet glaze effect with a gel that effortlessly glides onto skin to add dewy dimension to the complexion. I feel like a lot of brands have done this year. They've released a product in several different formulas. I mean, I feel like Makeup by Mario is the ultimate like perpetrator of this. He does like a cream bronzer, a liquid bronzer, a powder bronzer, and then he does another powder bronzer, and you're all like, how many of these do we need? I get it, but at the same time I don't get it. And I'm starting to think that Made by Mitchell, I mean, I looked at his website. He releases so many products, and he has so many different products, and a lot of things are just like 3 different highlighters in different formulas, and you're like, what's the difference between this cream one and this cream one? I don't think that that's clear. I don't think if we needed all of it. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. Maybe this is your favorite brand and you're like, shut up. Everybody needs this. Speaking of liquid blushes, hold on, we have more. Wait, there's more. These are the new liquid blushes from Lunar Beauty, which is Manny MUA's brand. These seem to be really pretty. These are more pigmented blushes, which I prefer to blend those blushes out with a liquid highlighter. I really like the color selection that he had in his blushes. They seem to be really interesting colors, and there were some more poppy colors and some more muted colors for different skin tones. And I think that he had this one like an orangey coral that seemed very, very pretty. These are going to be $25 each, and they are offering a buy 2 get 1 free promotion. And if you do that promotion, you cannot use a code, but if you don't do that, you can use a code and you can get some money off. You don't have to use my code, use somebody's code and get some money off. I will leave that down below as well. I think this is really pretty. I do tend to get PR from Lunar Beauty, so I'm kind of expecting that I'm gonna get these in PR. And when I do, we'll definitely be trying them out and see if there's any good or not. I do prefer a liquid blush like this, when it's like a doe foot and you dot it on. I think that's really nice. And the packaging seems very on brand for Lunar Beauty. I will say, I'm too old for this. This is Glen Cosmetics is doing a collab with Telletubbies. I think that I was too old when Telletubbies was popular, and with my generation, I'm an older millennial. This was more like almost like a meme, more like what are the kids watching these days? Basically like that. I think that if you're Gen Z, this was probably your jam when you were growing up. Like Telletubbies was probably your thing. I was too old for this. I was not into this, but I will say I find it very fascinating because like it does probably make for a really good collab, because you have these aliens, tubbies, thingamabobs. What were they? I felt like this was like brainwashing of kids, but you have like yellow, red, purple, and green, and then you had that sun with the kid. These were wild times. This whole show was like a trip. It was wild times, but this is a fun and colorful collection bringing you your 90s childhood nostalgia reimagined for today. I've never tried Glen Cosmetics, but I do think that this sounds really fun, and it is a fully licensed collab as well, so I'm interested to see what this is going to be. Oh, we also have a sneak peek of the Ardra packaging for a new Adept Cosmetics palette. This packaging looks very dope. It seems to be like embossed with a holographic, like shiny packaging. I am very intrigued to see what this is going to be. And when they do stuff like this, I'm like, oh, what are the color story going to be? Because I really, really enjoyed that color story of the Cyborg Choir palette. And I'm feeling like this could be equally as fun. So I can't wait to see what this is. It says that this one is coming soon. Legend of Ardra. I have no idea, but we'll talk about it soon. This is something that I will be purchasing, and this is a new concealer coming from Nessa Myx. We did talk about this a while ago. We had a little bit of a sneak peek, but now it is up and it is launching in the beginning of July, right? July 1st. So it's launching on Monday at the app, Sephora app exclusive, and then it's launching on the 2nd officially. These are $30 each, and it is a concealer that is a medium to full coverage, skin loving all over the face concealer, and medium coverage natural finish liquid formulation. Okay, this is exactly what I want. I don't want a full coverage. I prefer something that's like medium buildable. I prefer a natural finish, and I am very excited. It is not described as a creamy concealer, so I hope it doesn't, I hope it's not like a super creamy one. Serum hybrid. See, I want a more liquidy concealer because I feel like those are less heavy under the eyes. So I will definitely be trying this one out. I'm very excited. This one I actually got in PR, and this is the new lip set from Rare Beauty, and they sent me this little pouch. I don't get everything Rare Beauty in PR. I get some of the things. I will say there was this super cute claw clip in here, and I'm like, thank you. It says here that this is a shade extension, and it is on the Sephora website. So this is a devoted lip liner and devoted lip pencil. And this is, I did not get all of these in PR, so I don't have a red from the brand. And I don't know if they had a red before, but this is a very true red, and I do love a true red, and I think this formula is really nice. I cannot wait to try this one. I will definitely be trying it on and seeing if I like the formula in a bright or not, because I have this formula in a more nude color, and I really do like that, but it's going to be interesting to see how it is in a more bold formula. So this is $15 for the lip liner and $20 for the lipstick, and I don't know if it comes in a set or not on the Sephora website. I'm not 100% sure. I also don't know if the clip is available or not. Maybe on the Rare Beauty website. Maybe not, because it says MEJ on the side, so I'm guessing that's the brand, but I do appreciate the claw clip. So listen, I'm all about the claw clips. This is the perfect excuse for me to try Rabon Beauty. We talked about it last week, and I said I hadn't tried this brand yet, and a bunch of you were giving me suggestions of what things you love from the brand, what things you've been trying. A bunch of you were saying that you like the eyeshadows and the lip products. They're coming out with a foundation. I think this one is already available in Europe, and I think this will be the perfect chance for me to try the brand. So this is the Rabanne Fresh Touch Foundation. It is now available in Germany. It is coming in 30 different colors. It is a medium buildable, radiant with a natural glow that makes me very, very nervous. It is supposed to be a long wearing foundation though, so that could be interesting. That could mean that it's more finished like the Charlotte Tilbury stick, which is a radiant but actually pretty long wearing. I wore this all day yesterday, and even though I did look sweaty before I put on the powder, it did hold up all day. So I'm interested to see how this one is going to be, and this is the perfect chance for me to try Rabon Beauty as a whole as well, because we can try some other things too. So this one should be coming soon. I think I will be trying this one out. I am actually a little bit intrigued by the brand. Let's end with talking about the Let's Pop collection that is coming. Well, it's already available from Gloss Gods. Gloss Gods is a Swedish indie brand that ships from inside the EU. So if you're wanting to try an indie brand with some like fun, more colorful stuff, those more special shades, I always recommend Gloss Gods because they have a lot of different things, a lot of those kind of formulas that you can find at like US based indie brands. And they are now releasing this collection of, I think it's five different monochromatic 5-pan palettes, and they also do have some swatches on their Instagram and on their website. It looks really, really fun. They did say that they were going to send this one to me. If you do order from Gloss Gods, you can use my code and you will get some money off. I am very intrigued to try this one. Also, maybe we should do like a more Gloss Gods video as well, because they sent me some of their new blushes and bronzers as well. Or maybe I'll do another one of those like 4. Also, this is 5 palettes though. will I be able to do a 5 look? Because that's me dedicated a full work week to something that's probably not gonna bring in a full work week of like, I mean, this is how I pay my mortgage, so I need to be smart, but I do really like how these palettes look. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear your thoughts down below. I do read all of my comments and I try to take all of your suggestions and all of your constructive feedback into consideration when I'm planning out my content. Because I want to do stuff that's fun to film and that you think is fun to watch and that also pays my mortgage. That's the trifecta. And I think that was everything for this video. Again, I would love to hear your thoughts down below. I hope you're having an amazing, amazing Friday. And I will see you again on Monday for this look right here, plus another look with another indie release that has yet to be announced or revealed. But that's going to be what Monday's video is all about. But don't forget to subscribe and I will see you soon. Bye.